Woody Harrelson is an actor who cannot be considered a box office draw. Because of this, his career has not had many films in which he is assigned the lead role. However, if one takes into account his recent works, all of his characters on screen, although supporting, often outshine the protagonists of the film. Although saying that Harrelson was always a supporting actor would also be incorrect. In his filmography, there are many films in which the actor shown in the foreground. This video will talk about the different stages of Woody Harrelson's career. Enjoy the viewing! Woody Harrelson was born on July 23, 1961 in Midland, Texas. His father left the family when Woody was only 3 years old. The child's mother, Diana, raised Woody and his two brothers on her own. For a long time, Harrelson didn't even know where his father was. But when Woody turned 11, he heard the news about a high-profile trial in which a man named Charles Harrelson was being accused of the murder of a district judge. It turned out to be his biological father, who had already been accused of a previous murder. Given all these circumstances, the eldest of the Harrelson brothers was sentenced to 2 life sentences. For obvious reasons, the actor does not like to touch on this topic and only mentioned this painful episode on one occasion in an interview, saying that his father worked for the CIA. However, he decided not to delve into details to avoid problems. Naturally, this fact in his biography left a mark on his behavior and character. He changed schools several times and was expelled for misconduct, and also had legal problems quite early on. But at some point, he managed to control himself, and after graduating from school, he entered university in the English department. During his studies at the university, he quickly realized that he was drawn to acting, and after a year of enrolling, he switched to the theater department. After graduating from university, Harrelson definitively consolidated the idea of becoming an actor. But to achieve that goal, he decided not to go to Los Angeles like many beginner actors, but to New York. There, he acted for a while in the local theater. But soon, he realized that in order to become a popular actor, he could not avoid migrating to the city of dreams. So he finally decided to move to Los Angeles, which did not welcome him with open arms. One thing must be understood. If, for example, nature worked overtime on Brad Pitt's appearance, then in Woody Harrelson's case, it didn't hurry back from vacation. Due to his non-media appearance, Harrelson was overlooked in several advertising offers, which for many beginning actors are the first steps towards the entertainment industry. But nevertheless, Harrelson can definitely be called lucky. By skipping all of these small acting roles and episodic roles, he managed to get a great debut on screen. This happened in 1985, when Harrelson appeared in the 4th season of the popular sitcom of that time called Cheers, and made it even more popular. Symbolically, the character Harrelson played was also named Woody. The show's producers were delighted with the young actor, but more importantly, the viewers warmly welcomed the new sitcom character played by Harrelson. This allowed the actor to stay on the series for 5 seasons. During this time, Harrelson was nominated 5 times for the Emmy for Best Supporting Actor, and in 1989 was able to win the statuette. Alongside filming the sitcom, Harrelson began trying his luck in film. However, despite the popularity gained, the actor's filmography on the big screen was limited to episodic appearances in unremarkable films for 6 years. Another crucial moment in Harrelson's career occurred in 1992, when he starred alongside Wesley Snipes in the comedy White Men Can't Jump. The movie showed great interest from the public, which favorably reflected in the box office, grossing $90 million. Additionally, the film's ratings also remained high. During the filming of the movie, Harrelson constantly boasted about being an excellent basketball player. And on one occasion, to back up his claim, he even challenged a basketball coach who had been invited by the movie's director for consultation on the set, and bet a considerable amount of money on his victory. However, to his regret, Harrelson did not know that the invited coach turned out to be former Detroit Pistons center Bob Lanier. In the end, with empty pockets, Harrelson admitted that he had slightly overestimated his basketball skills. But Harrelson's acting skills, on the other hand, caught the attention of major film studios. And the following year, he appeared on the same screen alongside Robert Redford and Demi Moore in the movie Indecent Proposal. The film had a phenomenal success at the box office. With a budget of $38 million, it managed to collect $106 million in the United States alone, and the worldwide box office reached $266 million. However, the audience's reaction was not so clear. Ratings outside the United States showed that viewers on the other side of the ocean were more tolerant of all kinds of indecencies. But in its own home country, the film received fairly mediocre ratings and was also awarded 3 Razzie Awards, including the one for Worst Supporting Actor, which went to Woody. Nevertheless, after 2 rather high-profile premieres, Harrelson's career began to take off. Although in 1994 he starred in a box office flop called Cowboy Way, that same year he had the opportunity to play the lead role in Oliver Stone's movie Natural Born Killers. In addition to Harrelson, Robert Downey Jr. and Tommy Lee Jones also starred in the film. The original screenplay was written by Quentin Tarantino, but Stone rewrote it and apparently tried so hard that Tarantino didn't like the new screenplay so much that he tried in every possible way to remove his name from the credits. In the end, Tarantino only agreed that the film's screenplay was based on his story. With a budget of $40 million, the film grossed only $50 million at the box office, but received quite good ratings. A major reason for the low box office revenue was that the film's premiere turned out to be quite scandalous. The film was accused of promoting violence after several real-life murder cases, which, according to the criminals, were incited by watching Stone's movie. And while in the United States the film was eventually admitted to the box office, it was banned in Ireland. In England, they also took a long time to decide whether to allow the film to be shown in theaters, but after much deliberation, they finally admitted it to the box office, causing it to premiere much later than the scheduled release date. However, Harrelson's performance was praised by many, which led to an increase in the number of projects in which he was offered leading roles. After the scandalous Natural Born Killers, Harrelson starred in a fairly harmless action movie called Money Train, where he joined the already familiar duo of Harrelson and Snipes, along with Jennifer Lopez. However, at the box office, Money Train turned out to not be so profitable and was a major failure, collecting $35 million with a budget of $68 million. Viewer ratings also failed to compensate for the low revenues and remained at an average level. In '96, Harrelson decided to return to his roots and look to the comedy genre, starring in the Farrelly Brothers film Kingpin, in which Randy Quaid and Bill Murray also appeared. The movie was very well received by the audience, showing high ratings, though this was not reflected in its box office earnings, which amounted to $25 million with a similar budget. But despite the public's love for the film Kingpin, the real iconic work for Harrelson was Milos Forman's film, The People vs. Larry Flynt, in which he played the controversial editor of an adult magazine. Although the film failed at the box office, grossing $20 million with a budget of $36 million, it managed to become one of the most talked about events in the film industry that year. The film received high ratings from critics and viewers who did not hide their admiration for Harrelson's performance. The Film Academy also joined in and awarded the actor a nomination for Best Leading Actor. But in the end, Woody lost the statuette to Jeffrey Rush for his role in Shine. Although the film about Larry Flynt caught the attention of the Academy, Larry Flynt himself was not invited to the ceremony, considering him an undesirable guest. Then, Harrelson took the opportunity to bring a guest with him and took the popular publisher to the ceremony. Surely at that moment, Larry Flynt, who originally wanted Michael Douglas to play him, changed his mind about the lead actor. After the apparent universal recognition for his role, the actor appeared in a series of films that did not find much popularity among the public. The exception perhaps was the film Wag the Dog. But there, Harrelson had a supporting role, while the main roles went to Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman. The film, in addition to good box office earnings, which amounted to $64 million with a budget of $15 million, also had excellent performance in terms of viewer ratings. The next film with Harrelson's participation, The Thin Red Line, was also successful in terms of ratings and was very well received by the audience, as well as receiving from critics the status of one of the best films of 1998. The following year, 2 films featuring the actor were released. First, Ron Howard's comedy EDtv, in which he acted alongside Matthew McConaughey, and then the film Play It to the Bone, where Harrelson was joined by Antonio Banderas. However, neither of the 2 films could boast high ratings, and moreover, both suffered major box office failures. Interestingly, it was on the set of EDtv where Harrelson and McConaughey became friends, and they still spend time together frequently to this day. Harrelson, who after Larry Flynt was rightfully considered a top-tier actor and even a star, was forced to admit that all the movies in which he starred mainly failed at the box office and rarely had high ratings. Unfortunately, this was noticed not only by him but also by studios, who subsequently began offering him fewer leading roles in new projects. Therefore, when faced with a difficult choice at a certain point in his career, he made the right decision. That is, he decided to take a step back. From 2000 to 2006, the actor appeared exclusively in supporting roles, and at times even episodic ones. Despite this, his roles were repeatedly praised by audiences and critics in a positive way. His appearance in the movies Scorched, North Country, and A Scanner Darkly were especially memorable for viewers. In 2007, Woody perfectly complemented the cast of the Coen brothers movie No Country for Old Men, and his performance once again was among the positive aspects of the film. The Coen brothers film, in addition to enthusiastic reviews, performed excellently at the box office, grossing $170 million with a budget of $25 million, and also received 8 Oscar nominations, winning the main prize as the best film. The public's recognition for his role in No Country for Old Men prompted Harrelson to try to return to leading roles. However, the period of leading roles turned out to be short-lived, and was limited to the films The Walker and Transsiberian, which together grossed $6 million at the box office, and also showed weak performance in terms of ratings. After this failed attempt to return to leading roles, another period of supporting appearances followed, among which the most notable was the movie 7 Pounds, with Will Smith in the lead role. But in 2009, Harrelson made viewers and critics alike reconsider their attitude towards the concept of a supporting role when he acted in the film The Messenger. His performance was so brilliant that Harrelson was nominated for an Oscar in the category of Best Supporting Actor. While many viewers believed that his performance overshadowed the lead actor, Ben Foster. The film's fairly high ratings were largely due to Woody's performance. I'm sure that if The Messenger had been released in any other year, Harrelson would have undoubtedly won the Oscar. But in 2009, Inglourious Basterds was also released, in which Christopher Waltz shone, and the award ultimately went to him. Deservedly so. 2009 was memorable for the actor, not only for his role in The Messenger, but also because he starred in one of the best films of his filmography, Zombieland, which, in addition to good viewer ratings, also performed well at the box office, grossing $100 million on a budget of $24 million. The sequel, released 10 years later, in terms of ratings turned out to be slightly worse than the original, but managed to collect $122 million at the box office. After Zombieland, having acted in a series of not-so-prominent projects, Woody Harrelson was introduced to the world of dystopias in 2012. The film The Hunger Games, in which he participated, became an absolute hit at the box office, grossing $700 million on a budget of $80 million, as well as receiving excellent ratings and spawning an endless stream of similar movies. The producers of The Hunger Games were also keen to capitalize on the public's love for the dystopian genre, and released 3 more films, which additionally brought them a lot of money. Despite the franchise having both fans and those who, to put it mildly, were not thrilled with the film, the only thing that united the different opinions of the viewers was the character of Haymitch, played by Harrelson, whom both camps of viewers considered as one of the positive aspects of the film. After filming a blockbuster, Harrelson shifted his focus back to more modest projects. In 2012, he joined Colin Farrell, Sam Rockwell, and Christopher Walken to star in the film 7 Psychopaths, directed by Martin McDonagh. Originally, the role of the criminal boss played by Harrelson was intended for Mickey Rourke, and the actor even started filming. However, due to constant disagreements that arose between Rourke and the director, McDonagh decided to replace him with Harrelson, which I believe he never regretted. The film did not attract a large number of viewers in theaters, grossing $30 million, but those who saw it were delighted. The film received high ratings from both viewers and critics. Then came 2013, which turned out to be one of the most successful periods in the actor's career, although at the beginning of the year, it was hard to believe. The premiere of the movie Out of the Furnace, starring Christian Bale, Casey Affleck, Forest Whitaker, and Harrelson, had a disappointing performance at the box office, earning only $15 million with a budget of $22 million, and was rated by viewers as a solid average action film that didn't reach for the stars. However, The film, Now You See Me, released that same year, attracted much more attention, grossing $350 million at the box office and showing high ratings. The sequel released 3 years later and also had success at the box office, although in terms of ratings, it showed that it was not as good compared to the original. But it was in 2013 when Harrelson fully experienced what he had stopped doing. That is, he became one of the most talked about actors of the year and approached the filming of True Detective at the peak of his popularity, unlike his friend Matthew McConaughey. For both, this work was one of the best in their careers, but as McConaughey's role in True Detective marked a resurgence in his career, his performance received more attention. However, Woody Harrelson became the true gem of the series, and it's hard to imagine now any other duo in place of these two friends, who were nominated for an Emmy in the Best Actor category for their roles. Switching his police car for a spirited steed, Harrelson headed to the Wild West to participate in a duel with Liam Hemsworth. However, few appreciated their cowboy adventures, and the movie, with a budget of $10 million, only grossed $20,000 at the box office. In addition, the 15 people who saw the film rated it with quite low scores. On the other hand, Harrelson's appearance as a sarcastic teacher in the movie Almost 17, in which he starred alongside Haley Steinfeld, was also well received by the audience, which was reflected in their fairly high ratings. For me, at the time, the movie was also a pleasant discovery. Furthermore, the actor appeared in a music video for U2, which, in essence and length, could be considered a short film. Speaking only a few lines throughout the entire clip, Harrelson's performance managed to impress millions of viewers who watched this work. In 2016, the actor appeared in a leading role in the movie LBJ, portraying the President of the United States, but the film failed miserably at the box office, collecting only $2 million with a budget of $37 million. Disappointed by such a premiere, the following year Harrelson appeared in 6 films, among which the most notable and beloved by the audiences were his roles in Planet of the Apes, The Glass Castle, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. For the latter, Harrelson received another Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor, but lost the award to his film colleague Sam Rockwell. That same year, the actor dared to conduct an unusual experiment, filming Wild Adventures in London, in which he had quite a bit of fun alongside Owen Wilson. What was unusual about the film was that it was the first to be shot in real time. After an intense year in 2017, Harrelson went to a galaxy far, far away, starring in the movie Han Solo. However, his appearance in the Star Wars universe turned out to be an experience he would hardly want to remember. The film marked the biggest failure in the saga's history, grossing $392 million at the box office, with a budget of $275 million. After chasing Bonnie and Clyde with Kevin Costner in 2019, Harrelson decided to try his luck in blockbusters again, this time playing Carnage in the Venom sequel. But that experience can't be considered successful either. Although the film showed good box office revenues, reaching $500 million with a budget of $110 million, the ratings left much to be desired. In 2022, the actor made his debut on the streaming service Netflix, starring alongside Kevin Hart in the action comedy The Man from Toronto. Although in the end it turned out to be a comedy where not everyone understood where exactly they were supposed to laugh, and the movie received rather low ratings. That same year, the actor appeared in the film The Triangle of Sadness, which was met with greater sympathy from the audience and awarded fairly good ratings. At that moment, The Triangle of Sadness is the latest film in which the actor has participated. But soon, the Bobby Farley comedy Champions will be released, in which Harrelson will play the role of a basketball coach for a team of teenagers with developmental disabilities. The film clearly has every chance of being excellent. Starting his film career with a comedic role in a sitcom, Woody Harrelson eventually reached the point where he emerged as an excellent dramatic actor. Yes, at some point in his career he had to give up his ambitions and accept numerous secondary roles. Perhaps someone else in his position would have perceived it as a decline in their career. But through his own example, Harrelson demonstrated that even in supporting roles, one can be number one. With that, I will end my video. This was the story of Woody Harrelson. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye everyone, see you soon.